Good evening, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Adrenaline Impact Invitational V8 Supercars race here at Summit Point Raceway. It's a nice 51 degrees C out there on the track. Track length 3.2 kilometers long. Out here in Washington, D.C. Fantastic little racetrack we have out here with some fantastic cars. The 2014 spec V8 Supercars there currently practicing away in the background. It's looking to be a very nice race. Track time set to exceed the 1 minute 10-second barrier by the end of qualifying, so we'll be very excited to watch for that. A lot of drivers have been practicing very hard and diligently for this. This is our final invitational race for quite a while, simply because next week, as you probably saw in the advert there at the start, on the 14th of June, we are going to have our first ever Adrenaline Impact Malaysia iRacing Championship. It'll be with MX5 cars, so do stay tuned to Adrenaline Impact for more information as it comes out. As we see Shami Azri there just having a bit of a tapping slap on the way out there. He's the quickest car so far out there. He's definitely pushing as hard as he can at 1 minute 11.5 seconds. We also have Dominic Ang currently out there on the track. Shami Hanapia as well, just gone into the pits. Ilham Halabi is now next up on track. He's doing a 1:11.960, although he's dropped his pace a little bit. Some of these guys will be going for the ultimate lap time. Some of these guys will be trying to work out their race pace. We still got around about half an hour left in the practice session to go before we head into a 15-minute qualifying session and what promises to be a fantastic 45-minute feature race for you, ladies and gentlemen, down below in the comment section. Speaking of comment sections, if you don't want to say hi to us or let us know about anything, do leave us a comment in the comment section down below. Leave us a like as well while you're at it, and if you do have, if you can spare the time, do try and chuck us up there onto your wall. Give us a share and let your friends know of the big happening series coming in the 14th of June. Right here on Adrenaline Impact. Special thanks also to Toda Motorsports, who is broadcasting, our broadcast sponsor. Some wonderful products there, very high-end gaming peripherals from Toda Motorsports and Toda themselves. So, very special thank you to those guys for sponsoring the broadcast. This broadcast brought to you by Toda. And I hear a ping on the Discord server. Let's just have a quick look and see. It's Paduka. Hai Paduka.
Hai, apa khabar?
Khabar baik. So Paduka pada hari ini, pada masa ini akan jadi steward ya kalau tak silap.
Ya, dipanggil dan dijemput untuk meneliti perlumbaan yang semakin hangat. Bila banyak berlakunya insiden, jadi dipanggil untuk memantau pelumba-pelumba pada hari ini.
So terima kasih kerana sudi membuat kerja yang mungkin agak selit sikit kadang ni.
Itu biasa kerja-kerja macam ni. Kita pun mungkin kita boleh share pada orang nanti ketika perlumbaan nanti.
Yeah. So untuk perlumbaan yang selamat, apa rasanya Paduka? Apa yang faktor-faktor yang perlu dipentingkan?
Okey, biasanya lah mungkin sebab kita panggil apa, semangat membara bila kita nak fight dengan orang tu. Sebenarnya dalam dunia sim ataupun dunia real pun benda yang sama juga yang harus ditekankan, mana sportsmanship. Kita harus orang kata give and take. Kita bukan nak tumpu pada satu corner tu saja yang terus ke finishing line. Kita ada 15 lap atau 16 lap corner yang menanti kita di hadapan. So lagipun perlumbaan ni berlangsung 45 minit. Jadi kita harapkan pelumba-pelumba ni dapat orang kata bersabar, ambil peluang bila mana ada mistake ataupun mungkin sedikit asakan ataupun pressure yang membuatkan mereka mistake lah. So biasa insiden akan berlaku first lap di turn 1. Biasanya akan berlaku lah. Itu kalau kita tengok balik review sebelum ni, kebanyakannya masalah-masalah seperti late braking, ada saja benda yang keluar secara spontan. Kita harapkan malam ni clean race lah. Kita mengharapkan clean race.
Okay, so kalau ada apa-apa masalah yang besar nanti, Paduka akan jadi race steward sekali. Dan apakah akan terjadi kalau ada terlampau banyak aksiden masa lap pertama atau kedua nanti?
Okay, seperti dibincangkan, kita sepakat jika terlibat lebih daripada 6 kenderaan waktu starting nanti, kita akan full course yellow. Kita akan panggil Pesca untuk keluar lah. So mereka akan starting grid semula. Saya difahamkan perlombaan pada malam ini kita menggunakan format rolling start.
Oh, standing start.
Ya. Standing start. Okay, baik.
Tapi kita akan double check dan triple check sebelum kita start race.
Yep.
Okay, semasa kami akan check di dalam background nanti, ada tak apa-apa pesanan nak dibagi untuk semua driver masuk kepada turn 1 nanti?
Okay, pada saya pesanan yang ingin disampaikan pendek je. Kekalkan sportsmanship dan kita nak drama juga dalam perlombaan, tapi drama yang tidak menimbulkan ketidakselesaan. Dia nak drama yang ada fight, boleh challenge, benda-benda macam tu.
Rolling start. Okay.
Yep,
sebab
rolling start. So
kami dapat informasi daripada Master SRE buat hosted section untuk practice masa tu, kalau tak silap standing start, tapi mungkin rasanya driver-driver tu nampakkan yang track ni agak narrow dan mungkin susah sikit nak memotong masa starting tu. So kita akan pergi ke rolling start kalau tak silap ya.
Yep.
So siap ada parade lap sekali, tapi saya pernah ada teliti dalam 1-2 kali tu ada orang accident dekat parade lap. So harap-harapnya semua orang masa nak panaskan tayar tu jaga-jaga sikit ya.
Kita mengharapkan mungkin sedikit sebanyak kita boleh bagi tahu pada yang sedang menonton sekarang ni, di dalam perlombaan iRacing memang setup ni adalah setup open untuk kenderaan V8 ni. Dia bukan fixed setup. Pelumba-pelumba ni harus menentukan setup handling dan juga tayar untuk mereka terlibat dalam perlombaan ni. So maknanya boleh juga diorang menggunakan setup baseline, setup yang disediakan oleh iRacing. Tapi macam yang Mike cakap tadi, perlunya warm up tayar di lap yang pertama. So biasanya di lap yang pertama ni lah yang selalunya ada insiden yang berlaku disebabkan tayar tak cukup panas. So harus ditekankan juga. So kita mengharapkan inilah ni kira sebahagian daripada pesanan yang harus saya ulang-ulang. Memang kena ulang-ulang supaya mereka menitik beratkan tentang hal ni. Dan sekejap lagi kita akan masuk ke dalam Discord yang ada pelumba-pelumba ni. Kita akan beri sedikit briefing pada mereka supaya clean race.
So ini memang sebiji semacam perlombaan di Bita Sepang ataupun di dunia betul lah kiranya. Ada briefing dia dan semua.
Yep.
Okay, so
beratkan.
So nanti apabila kita akan dengar suara Paduka keluar nanti masa race, nanti dia akan buat ucapan untuk ataupun announcement untuk memberitahu yang ada penalty ataupun apa-apa kejadian. So harap-harapnya dia tak keluar terlampau banyak kali. Kita
mengharapkan tidak keluar banyak kali, betul.
Tapi ya.
Okay, hi guys. So,
Hello there.
okay. In the race system kita tengok hari ni live timing from SDK we got I think up to 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 guys already in the server. Including Paduka, so it's 31 I think. 31 pun Paduka kira sangat okey lah dia punya sambutan kali ni.
Sambutan kali ni memang sangat-sangat di luar jangkaan sebenarnya. Mungkin juga dia hanya satu perkembangan yang orang kata apa? Yang baik untuk perlumbaan simulator di Malaysia, dan kita nak ucap juga terima kasih pada pihak Adrenaline Impact kerana telah membuka mata banyak pihak sebenarnya. Kita tahu ramai juga pihak-pihak yang cuba keluarkan kata medium ataupun platform di dalam dunia simulator, tapi AI memilih untuk menggunakan platform iRacing, dan ianya satu benda yang orang kata kelainan. Kita perlukan banyak platform sebenarnya untuk mengeluarkan ada orang dia minat untuk gunakan platform ni, ada orang minat untuk gunakan platform ni. So sedikit sebanyak sebenarnya memberi peluang pada organizer, pihak-pihak organizer yang boleh menambah apa orang kata
variasi.
Corak.
Macam
mana nak cakap? Dia punya macam
dia punya
satu
variasi lah kira dia punya
variasi betul. Dia macam tu betul.
So itu dia Paduka Syuib yang sudi menjadi race director kami. Terima kasih sangat-sangat untuk sudi menjadi race director. Nanti mesti agak susah kalau bagi saya untuk jadi clerk of course ataupun race director ni. Mesti ada kesusahan dia sikit-sikit lah. Mata kena berata tepat. So sekarang Paduka sekarang macam mana dia kamu nak cuba meneliti pelumba ni pada waktu sekarang?
Pada waktu sekarang ni saya sebelum ni kita dah kenal pasti sebenarnya siapa yang kerap ataupun biasa melakukan orang kata mungkin kesilapan, tapi sebenarnya kita nak juga kita dah tahu, jadi kita akan waktu briefing tu adalah satu benda yang point untuk kita nak bagi tahu pada umum. Mungkin yang saya perasan sebenarnya macam pengalaman sebelum ini, kalau kita terlalu excited, biasa macam dekat WhatsApp group apa semua, and then dia akan terbawa-bawa sebab asalnya mereka nak bersaing je pun, tapi mungkin sebab kat situ dia nampak alamak kawan kat sebelah, jadi dia rasa macam dia terlupa yang sebenarnya tayar tak cukup panas apa semua kan. Jadi benda-benda macam ni bila waktu briefing nanti mungkin dapat cool down kan driver. So mereka perlu menjaga orang kata rating diorang, sebab bila di dalam perlumbaan nanti harus diingat mereka boleh kena ban ataupun mereka boleh dikenakan tindakan tidak dapat mengikuti next roundnya. So benda-benda macam ni kita titik beratkan supaya dalam pada masa yang sama kita mendidik mereka untuk menjadi pelumba yang menitik beratkan isu-isu benda macam kalau ikut real sportsmanship, betul.
So nampaknya ada lagi 20 ataupun 18 minit. Macam tak boleh baca jam pula. So mungkin saya akan biarkan Paduka pergi kepada briefing room untuk membuatkan briefing sebelum qualifying Okay, so betul. Terima kasih sangat-sangat pada Paduka. Harap-harap kita
sama-sama
dapat kalau kita bercakap pun bercakap secara sukarela daripada banyak buat announcement nanti, harap-harapnya.
Boleh. Terima kasih.
Sama-sama.
Alright, that was Paduka
and that was Paduka Shoaib who is our race director for this evening. He is going to run off now into the briefing room. And we just heard a couple of points there from the race director. He wants to see good, clean, but exciting racing as well. He's not going to be too strict like those Formula One stewards that tend to kill all the fun in the races. We do want to see door-to-door action, but as he was mentioning, the biggest factor that's going to come in is that because this is a very narrow track, there is a good chance that the cars are going to crash into each other on the first lap coming to the first corner. So he's going to go into the briefing room, tell them what the deal is around the first corner, and remind them that this is a 45-minute race. It's quite a long race by our standards, so hopefully Paducah won't be popping up too often, but if you do hear the voice of Paducah Shuaib, he is going to come on and tell us what the infraction is, why we're having a full course yellow, who's being black flagged, and all of the rest of it. So this is good preparation for all the drivers, especially in this league now, considering that we're going to go into a full championship on the 14th of April. So do stick around to Adrenaline Impact for more information on that. Do stay tuned and do hang on to that the notification feed. We will be feeding you information as we get it. Meanwhile, I see Kelvinder Singh has gone into the 1 minute 10 second barrier, 1 minute 10.8 seconds, followed by Shami Azri in 1:11.118. It looks like this might be the quickest times. A lot of the other drivers now will just be trying to burn off fuel and burn off their tires to see how long they can go on a set of tires and fuel. This will help them sort of dictate their pit strategy later on, because quite a few of these drivers will want to think about that very, very carefully indeed. But yeah, so far we have 25 drivers up there on the pop-up display on the left-hand side of the screen there. You can see from Kelvinder Singh in 1 minute 10.848 seconds, right down to Michael at the back there with a 1:13.937. Zafri, aka Ajib, yes, in the other Todat racing car. And we also have Jasri Junos there in the back. Ruben Wong has joined us, which is very exciting indeed. He's had a lot of experience in motor racing in that blue Tedco Racing Ford Falcon. Tedco, a big part of motorsports all throughout Asia. They've been around for a very, very long time, so there's a lot of experience behind the wheel of that number 5 Ford Falcon. Hopefully we'll see some good things from Ruben Wong as well. Very, very good engineer in touring car racing, as well as with Lamborghini trophy cars and a whole bunch of other cars besides. And not a very bad driver, if I say so myself. I've seen some of the onboard stuff of him. I've talked to him at the track many times. It's very nice to see some of the real life racing regulars making a drop off and a stop off right here on Adrenaline Impact for the iRacing Invitational race. Calvin Ha, another one who's been around the track a few times in the 778 liveried car. Again, another Ford Falcon driver. The 778 racing team, also a real-life racing team that competes in the Hong Kong and Macau Touring Car Championship, as well as in the MCS series here. So a very, very famous team racing at Sepang. And it's nice to see Calvin bringing some of the foreign influences into the race, some foreign interest into the race from the 778 guys. A very, very big welcome to all of them indeed. Meanwhile, Michael there, we tried to talk him out of it, but I think he might actually be entering the race. If we do, we will make sure that we will get every single mistake he makes throughout the race and bully him relentlessly over the intercom. Perhaps we won't be that harsh.
Yeah, I think he got his rhythm already.
Yeah, he's definitely
he's eager to join.
Yeah, he's definitely missing Sepang a great deal right now, having talked to him over the days leading up to this event. So I don't blame him. If I had a rig myself, I would be racing. But there you go. Michael definitely improving by leaps and bounds there. It may not look it, but we have a very packed grid. Only so far right up to Michael there, there's only 3 seconds between him and the leaders, so it's still not an insurmountable gap to the front of the field. Jasri Junos there, just a little bit behind, 114.178. Nice little announcement that Android King are also putting in basically a full-blown team into Adrenaline Impact's iRacing races, so that's very exciting news for us indeed. Jasri Junos, another guy who's really looking to head up the leaderboards. Azril Dali has just gone out. He is driving a Ford Falcon as well for the Autohouse FCR team, another MSF crew that's bringing some of that real-life racing touch to Adrenaline Impact's iRacing events there. Asli will definitely be pushing hard to try and get his car further up the field there. I mean, this practice session won't really matter too much to a lot of the drivers. Azril Nazli, aka Azril, as he's on there. A big pile up there. He had nowhere to go in Stream.my's entry. That's rather unfortunate. Thankfully, it's happened during practice. Sometimes you've got to practice the crashes as well, I suppose. But Azril Nazli there, very unfortunate. He just could not avoid that particular incident. Sharon Orfudin in the RAB Pro Drag car, another real-life racing driver in a real-life racing team livery. He is driving that Ford. He's driving the Holden Commodore. We've got 2 cars out there this evening, the Holden Commodore and the Ford Falcon. And it's going to be very, very exciting to see how these guys go up against the sim racing aliens that we have as well. But just a side note there, a special thanks to our sponsors as we looked at Stream.my's car earlier just now. That was Sharon Laura Fudin right there on the track rub project. We have Stream.my on board. A special thanks to them. They are premium streaming and cloud-based streaming service. We've got Simology, a trusted and well-known sim racing brand here in Malaysia. We've got Pico Media, Ipin, as he's known to his friends, a very, very strong proponent of sim racing. He does a lot of the work that you see behind the scenes in the broadcast, so special thanks to him. Sim racing enthusiasts. Most of these drivers are members of the Sim Racing Enthusiasts Club, and it's we're very, very thankful for all their help and support over the years. So special thanks to those guys. Todak Motorsports, special thanks for them to sponsor the broadcast. They do premium gaming for peripherals, and we're very, very thankful for their help and input throughout this esports journey that we've taken with Adrenaline Impact. Another special thanks as well to Interformula, premium and high-end motor racing research and development, as well as a very, very good fabrication shop. They're sponsoring my time in particular, as I take time off from working with them to work with Adrenaline Impact. So I'm very, very thankful to those guys for letting me off the hook once in a while to join you fine folks this evening. And finally, last but not least, we have C-Zone Premium Computer Retailers. They're one of the biggest and oldest and most well-known of the shops in the famed Loyat Plaza, and they do a lot. They do a good line in Apple products as well as PC products, a good line in peripherals as well. So if you're in Loyat Plaza, do check them out and tell them that we sent you. That would be very, very nice indeed. Meanwhile, we're tracking Adi Raimi Rashid in the number 90 Holden Commodore.
Actually, actual racer also, one of the youngest.
Yep, we've got quite a young guy there in the SSAD cars. Now these guys are another team looking to join us during the championship race starting June 14th. And so we're quite happy to see them on board as well. SSAD, a driving school, I believe, and a high-performance driving and racing school. Adi Raimi Rashid, one of the young guns coming up through the Malaysian motorsport scene. All of them, I know, are ready and waiting for their chance to shine. As soon as we get real racing coming back, I know Adi would be right out there at Sepang practicing. But in the meantime, he's getting all his practice
His
through here.
father.
And there's his dad, Rashid Rydell, as he likes to be known, a very, very experienced driver himself. It's nice to see some father-son pairings throughout here. I mean, 90% of people who join as drivers in motorsports have some parental experience as well, and what I mean by that is that their fathers or their mothers have been involved in motor racing in some form or another. Look no further than Nico Rosberg, whose father Keke also won the World Drivers Championship, the Formula One Championship, and even guys like Lewis Hamilton, who had his dad Anthony really help out in his karting career. Jenson Button had his father John as well. So the family connections in motor racing run super, super deep. So it's nice to see Rashid Rydell out there with his son Eddie. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing these two paternal, or is it, I can't remember what the other one is, but definitely fraternal teammates in the same cars, and nice to see SSAD out there as well. Shaiful Arifin in the Masak Kitchen Tartnanas car. Some special changes to promote Masak's new lines of very nice tarts. I'm going to have to hit him up and try one of these days. But yeah, Saiful Arifin also very, very active in the community. He is, in fact, I believe, Pico Media, one and together. And he is a very, very quick, very, very experienced driver, but also a fantastic sort of walking billboard for sim racing, and definite walking encyclopedia of Malaysian sim racing. Big sideways moment there. He saw the accident. He just about avoided it. He had to back off there. That's what we call lift-off oversteer, big time. And he was very lucky to gather all of that up. He's sort of having a quick think about things, a bit of a breath.
Okay, we have here Afizul Jai. He's the founder of Android King. So he made a statement that he will be joining the championship along with, I think it's Tamizi.
So that's fantastic news. Tamizi Yusuf gets a team to run under, and Afizul, very, very special thanks to him for bringing Android King into the iRacing Malaysia Championship, which will be starting in the 14th. Do stick around for that. And I believe Afizul has a little bit of driving experience himself.
Yeah.
He's known as Jai to the drift
Jai
racing
Bluebird.
community. Yeah, Jai Bluebird himself. So all of you drift racing fans have someone to root for, not just to Guezan, but Afizul Jai as well, out there trying to make things happen on the track.
Let's see how's Tuku Izan doing.
Yes, Mr. 10 himself, he's been improving quite a bit recently, but perhaps still has a little ways to go. That striking pink car. I must say, a bit of a bold fashion choice, but you see all kinds out here. But Mr. 10, as he's known to his fans, Tunku Ezan Lay, a very experienced driver in his own right. He's driven professionally, and he's also quite an avid sim racer. He does tend to do better in the races than in qualifying or practice sessions. He's definitely a racer's kind of racer. He likes to overtake and follow people and do all of those wonderful things. So we're looking to see Tunku Ezan make some moves further up the field later on during the race. Locking up a little bit there. We're going to see a lot of people locking up through turn 1, as I noticed there. Tunku Ezan there just had a little bit of a lock-up coming in, missing the apex ever so slightly. The cars are very difficult to slow down. These cars don't have ABS, they don't have traction control, no driving aids whatsoever, and the brakes aren't the greatest that you can get for a touring car of this size, and they don't have very big tires as well. So these cars really designed to bring out the skill and the racecraft of the drivers, and we've seen some fantastic racing over the last few weeks, especially during the MCO period, and it's been absolutely fantastic stuff. So Mun Fai Leong in that striking urban camo liveried, holding Commodore there. He's doing relatively well for himself. He's down in 25th position, but I think he's trying to do a long run right now. And he's also another strong supporter of all of SRE and Adrenaline Impact events, so we're quite happy to see him out there pushing the car and driving the car around as well. As you can see, you might think, oh, Moonfire Long, he's in 25th position, but he's only 3 seconds behind Kelvinder Singh, our current front runner in the practice session. We've only got 2 minutes left in practice right now, so all of these guys are going to do their last minute runs, whether they're going to try and eke the tires out as much as possible to try and find out how durable they are. They're going to try and run the tanks dry on the cars if they can, and some of the guys will be out there trying to get a simulation qualifying lap to try and get themselves psyched up for the qualification sessions. Asman Abdullah, Simar Garage, very nice to see him out there at the moment. Asman is a sort of a very experienced sim racer. He's got a fantastic rig underneath him, I can tell you that much for sure. Absolute expert in all things sim racing, especially on the equipment side. But he's been around the motor racing scene, both real and virtual as well. So fantastic to see him out there on the track in that Holden Commodore. We have Hanuzul Ilizam, the FR Garage. Again, all these fantastic striking liveries. I must say, when we first started running the V8 Supercars, we saw a lot of people out there driving around in basically the stock liveries, and it's nice to see that virtually all of them have their race liveries all set up, and the whole field, I must say, is looking very bright and colourful and very, very good looking indeed. He's now right behind Melvinder Singh in that green and silver Ryzen sponsored Adrenaline Impact car. It's nice to see him pound around out there. You can see Hanuzul is one of the quicker drivers in the field. He's only down in 11th right now, but I'm sure he can improve by leaps and bounds, especially during the qualifying sessions. They won't, I think, be able to finish this lap as we're about to finish practice now. And practice is now over. The teams and drivers now have some very important decisions to make. How much fuel has to go into the car, what sort of tire pressures and setup they have to run, and all the rest of it as they head into qualifying. And for those of you who've just joined us, good evening. Welcome to the Adrenaline Impact Invitational V8 Supercars here at Summit Point Raceway. My name is Matthew Palmer. We have our director Carol Alang manning the camera controls right now as the cars go out for their qualifying session. It's 15 minutes. They really only have about enough time if they try and stretch it out for 4 or 5 really quick laps. We're going to go on board with Hanazul Ilizam through the warm-up here, and we'll ride with him up onto the starting line. So into the braking zone here, they're going to be braking from top speed. Very, very easy to lock up the wheels going through here, and very, very easy to spin out coming out into the exit of the corner here. So you've got to be very, very careful coming out of turn 1 into turn 2, past left-hand kinked. And the road actually comes to meet the car on the apex of the second part of that corner there. The exit is much narrower and completely blind, so they've got to really watch out for that. And then now the really tricky braking into the S's, down into the carousel corner here. He's got to watch himself trying to get on the throttle, especially with these cold tires. It's a 2-part sort of corner, double apex. Now the second S's here at the top of the track, and onto the back straightaway. Now this track, Summit Point Raceway, it's an IMSA. It used to be an IMSA track. It is now sanctioned by the Sports Car Club of America, and definitely has that vintage European feel to it. Going through that final corner there, he's got to take all the space he can and across the line. Kelvinder Singh, meanwhile, is fastest car on the track with a 1:12.970, but we know he can go quicker. In practice, we've seen times as low as 1 minute 10. Will anyone break the 1 minute 10.5 second barrier that will definitely give you a pull around here. Adi Raimi there, just coming in for second. This is Mohammed Mohamed. He's driving the Red Bull Holden liveried car, chasing the Ford Falcon, the Vodafone Ford Falcon up ahead there. That's two Works liveried cars there, so Ahmad and Mohamed are definitely going to run their own little battle of stock liveried cars. This will be very, very interesting indeed to watch the racing go down. Mohammed Mohamed definitely pushing very quick through the road course here. Lloyd Lachlan has now gone into second position, but Jezrin Jali has now got the first 1 minute 11 time, 1 minute 11.268. There we see him in the SRE Holden Commodore. He is now on provisional pole position. 3 minutes have gone of the 15 minutes allocated for qualifying, so he really only has time to get into the pits and maybe get 2 more attempts at that flying lap. So he's got to hope that that's going to be enough to at least put him at the front of the field. Shami Aizan in the 404 RAB Pro Drag car, another common sight around the circuit racing scene here. He's going for his first real quick time, but he's just a little bit behind Calvin Ha at the moment. Let's see how well he does going through to the finish. Now that's another thing with this track. We have so many entries. I think over 30 entries have tried to qualify for the race. So track position is going to be absolutely critical right now, trying to find a clear piece of track to try and push as hard as he can. Meanwhile, Adi Rahimi is out there in second position with a 1:11.569. He just did his fastest lap in qualifying there, so he's going to be rolling his way down, overtaking his teammate there. Now we're going to see if he can improve his lap time through here. Now this is the problem now. There's not an awful lot of clear track up ahead. Adi Raimi has managed to gain himself that all-important clear air in front of him, so he's going to have to use that to his advantage to try and push and improve his lap time and hopefully beat Jezrin Jali. Another car with clear air in front of him is Kelvinder Singh. He did a 1 minute 10 second lap in practice. Will he be able to reclaim that provisional pole position that he had? We're coming up to 10 minutes to go. So there's only really 3 or 4 laps they can do in a single row. Saiful Arifin has managed to go into provisional pole position, not quite breaking the 1 minute 10 second barrier just yet. It's 1:11.037. So Saiful Arifin has managed to bring himself to the top of the leaderboards right now. There's a car spun across the road there. He manages to get himself out of the way. But we have Saiful Arifin. Kelvinder Singh is just caught up with a bit of traffic, but luckily that traffic has pulled away. We'll see if he can improve his lap time. So now we have at the top of the leaderboard Saiful Arifin on provisional pole, followed by Jezrin Jali, Lloyd Lachlan, Adi Raimi, Dominic Ang, Shemi Azri, Mohammed Mohamed, Kelvinder Singh, Hanizul Elizam and Andre Ambadar. All 10 of these drivers could conceivably get the pole position. So it's absolutely exciting stuff as well. There's even some contenders further down the order. Malvinder Singh hasn't got a clean lap yet. Staranora Fudin might be able to bring this car to the top of the field, but they're in the pits at the moment. Ruben Wong as well in the pits, so we might see some movement from further back. Stamir Aizan now in 10th position. Hanuzul Elizam, we are tracking him right now at the moment. He's following that car of Jai's as close as he can. Jai Bluebird, as he's known to his fans. He might try and gain a bit of an advantage going down the hill here. Let's see if he can improve his lap time. Kelvinder Singh has not, Hanuzul Elizam has not. So perhaps they're going to have to try and fight their way through to a much better position. He runs just a little bit wide through there. That's another lap that has to be scrubbed. So now he might have to use this lap tactically, back off, let the car in front drive away. But also the danger with that is that he might find himself in a position where a car behind might get him. Meanwhile, that's Tarmizi Yusuf, another real-life motor racing star who's out there trying to gain as much clean air in front of him as possible. He is down in 16th position. He would really want to push as hard as he can to try and get a good lap time. He's going to the pits first, though. I think he needs another set of tyres before he can pull that off. Dominic Ang is one of our front-running contenders for pole position. He's currently sitting on a 111.611. Let's see if he's going to be able to improve that. Coming into the final corner, he's got to watch himself breaking through here. A little bit of dirt and dust on the apex there, but cars can take it. Up through the gears, 5th gear, just about going to snatch 6th gear. Has he improved? Yes, he has, with a 111.579 and goes up into 5th position, right behind Adi Rahimi Rashid. So that's going to be a battle for the second row of the grid, rather. Mohammed Mohammed down in 8th position. He's got plenty of space in front of him. Will he be able to pull this off coming into the line? Brakes nice and neat through the corner there. He's using all of the road and a little bit of the extra tarmac runoff there just to try and give himself as much speed as possible coming out of the corner. And he has not improved it. It's a 112.164, not good enough to improve on 8th position. Now, Saiful Arifin is also on an outlap. Meanwhile, we are on board with Samir Aizan coming out of the carousel corner at the very top of the circuit. Now, through these fast-flowing esters, he's going to try and get the car rotated nice and neat. Don't use too much of the exit out there because it's a bit too dangerous. You don't want to put a wheel wrong right now. Calvin Ha behind him definitely wants to improve big time, but unfortunately he's gone a little bit wide. Malvindijit Singh has snuck by him. So that's going to be another lap of wait and see from Calvin Ha. Meanwhile, we have still Saiful Arifin out there in pole position, followed by Jasmine Jelly, and Lloyd Lachlan has gone up into 3rd position. So Lloyd Lachlan, another dark horse for the pole position. He's definitely pushing the car as hard as he can. He's in the Sim Experience branded car, that Holden Commodore there, with a nice little burnt effect paint job. Now he's gone down to 4th. Shami Azri has managed to clinch 3rd position from Lloyd Lachlan with a time of 111.256. Will anyone go below 1 minute 10 in this session? There's only 5 minutes to go. A maximum of 2 laps, maybe 3 if they're lucky. But Lloyd Lachlan is going up to the line. Will he be able to improve on that position? And he's crossed the line. 1 minute 11.407. It is an improvement, but not enough to improve his position of 4th. Jeswin Jali now in 2nd. Coming up to the line. No, he has not been able to improve. It's a 1 minute 17 seconds, so he's definitely been balked by some of the cars further ahead. Meanwhile, we have our commentator back from qualifying, Amacham.
Okey, Mat. Selamat malam kepada semua yang masih yang sedang menonton live Adrenaline Impact racing untuk V8 Supercar. Okey,
Yeah.
Michael baru je habis daripada practice tadi dan qualifying tadi just masuk 1 lap, try tengok macam mana. Dan okey, terima kasih kepada Matt Palmer, Matthew Palmer kerana malam ni buat sorangan komentator. So terima kasih kerana join live kami dan minta kepada semua peminat motorsport, peminat racing supaya share live video ni sebab malam ni kita mengumpulkan ke semua peminat motorsport yang ada iRacing kita ada barisan pelumba-pelumba sim racing yang memang power, dan kita juga ada real racer di dalam sini. Kita ada Adi Rahimi Rashid, kita ada Dominic Ang, kita ada Syamir Aizan Hanafiah, kita ada siapa lagi, ada Syarin Afuddin, kita ada Tengku Izandi, kita ada Ruben Wong, kita ada Kevin Ha, kita ada Maicil juga. So Maicil akan start belakang hari ni. So target hari ni Cil akan cuba untuk clean saja sebab rig simulator tak sampai lagi. Okey, boleh guna alasan tu lagi, dan juga
boleh
dan terrain dengan pedal pun tak sampai lagi. Jadi kita menggunakan apa yang ada je, tapi disebabkan sangat-sangat rasa teruja, so Cik akan join race. Sebenarnya dah janji dengan Mat untuk partner dengan dia, tapi sorry Mat. Sila komentar tuan-tuan.
Aduh, sedih. Rindu pula nanti. Tapi baca ada apa-apa plan tak untuk race ini dan untuk championship yang akan datang lagi?
Okay, mungkin untuk championship akan datang Cik akan join dah, sebab estimate minggu depan Cil punya complete set simulator akan sampai. Terima kasih Todak kerana memberikan Cil set simulator. Nanti kita akan buat review set simulator Cil nanti. Boleh katakan complete dengan bug kicker semua. So kita harapkan dengan bantuan tu kita dapat melatih pemanduan. Bukan Cil saja, kita akan melatih geng-geng Todak semua untuk belajar macam mana membawa kereta dengan simulator dengan cara yang betul. Okay. Alright Mat, tinggal lagi berapa minit ni? Tinggal lagi seminit lagi qualifying.
Cil, siapa ni Cil? Bawa kereta kau ni Cil?
Okay, kita ada tim yang bawa hari ni. Kita ada Muhammad Zafri ataupun Ajab Protouch. Dia akan membawa kereta livery Todak malam ni. So Todak akan ada 2 biji kereta. Todak Motorsport tadi Cil ada nampak seorang pakai livery Todak Motorsport. Mungkin nama dia Azam rasanya, kalau tak salah. Tak pastilah siapa namanya. So terima kasih kepada semua yang tengok live. Cil tengok ramai 42. Kita ada juga Mark Darwin yang tengah tengok live. Manview pun ada. Kita ada Sifu Garage. Welcome. Minta korang-korang semua share live ni supaya motorsport kita berkembang bukan saja di reality tapi juga di virtual. Okay, macam ni Mat. Cil mungkin akan race, tengok keadaan macam mana. Mungkin akan race penuh ataupun half. Lepas tu Cil akan masuk balik kompetitor. Apa-apa pun nanti bergantung kepada keadaan lah. Kalau tak kena towing, Cil akan teruskan. Tapi selalunya Cil akan kena towing bila race.
Harap tak adalah kali ni. Ilham Halabi dapat nombor pertama.
Ya, Alien dapat 1 minit 10 saat. Memang gila. Okay, selamat menonton semua. Mohon share kepada kawan-kawan semua. Hai Adib, hai Faizal Asri, hai Y Sifu, hai Isnad Kano, Madawin. Terima kasih kerana join dan sila share video ni. Kita ada geng-geng otai-otai. Kita ada Ruben Wong, kita ada Kevin Ha, kita ada Tengku Izanli, kita ada ramai kat sini. Kita ada pertemuan antara alien di sim dan juga alien di reality. Okay, bye-bye. Cik nak masuk dulu. Jumpa lagi.
Okay, jumpa lagi ya. So we have our reporter on the ground there, Michael Hafiz, who is going to go and try and race as much as he can in the race. He'll see if he can finish the race clean. That's going to be his goal for this evening, is a clean race. Now everyone is going to wait for the grid to form. It's going to be a rolling start with a parade lap.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a rolling start with a parade lap. It's a little bit of a tweak from our usual format. That's simply because of the racetrack conditions. It's very, very narrow indeed coming down to turn 1. So traditionally the SCCA races and the IMSA races that are run here along with the bike races are also rolling start for the most part, unless they've got small grids. But meanwhile, our grid is very, very big indeed, and we have Ilham Halabi there with the surprise pole position on the very final lap, 1 minute 10.2 0.620 seconds. That's an epic lap from Ilham Halabi, followed by Saiful Arifin, who was very quick indeed for the majority of the session. Jezrin Jali was pole at one point, and following down there is Shami Azri, completing row 2 of the grid. Lloyd Lachlan is next to Kalvinder Singh on row 3, followed by Adi Rahmi, Dominic Ang, Shamir Hanapia, Muhammad Mohaimin, Hanuzul Elizam, and Andre Ambadar. Now in 13th position, Muhammad Zafri is another Toyota Motorsport entrant, followed by Muhammad Ahmad, Malvinderjit Singh, Afizul Jai, Zainul Zai, Azril Nazli, Sharil Nurfuddin, Rashid Raidal, Tarmizi Yusuf, Tunku Ezan Lay, Mr. 10 himself, Calvin Ha, Ruben Wong, and following down on that, we have Mun Fai Leong in 25th, followed by Michael, who we just spoke to just now, Muhammad Hafiz Kamarudin, down there 26th, Jasri Junos, Azli Dali, Darnzel Abdullah, Azman Abdullah, Paduka Shuaib, who is our race director right now, spectating along with Muhammad Rahim. So special thanks to Paduka for being our race director. He will give, as soon as the racers have formed up on the grid, he will give the signal to release the cars around the lap and monitor them during the warm-up procession and into the race start. So some quick cars to look out for. We've got Ilham Halabi, obviously very, very quick. He's definitely a chance for him to head into the lead. The lights will go on, they'll go off, and they'll proceed behind the safety car. We also have the dark horse in the race as well, Ruben Wong, who's very quick in real-life touring car, but we'll see how he does in the world of sim racing. He's very adaptable and also a very good engineer as well, so he will be able to set that car up just the way he likes it. We also have Jezrin Jali, who's very quick earlier on. Saiful Arifin will try and get a good start from his position in the front row of the field. As the cars go around turn 1, you can see how narrow it is, so it's going to be very important for the guys to get a clean start to the race, because it can get very, very scary coming out of that, coming into the braking zone for the first corner there. The cones on the side of the road at turn 1 are there set up just so that you can help the drivers to pick out their braking zone. Most of the drivers will be braking at or before the first set of cones. Now we're coming up to turn 2 here. Very, very tricky because the road comes in from the right-hand side and meets the car as it leaves the corner, so you can see it's a slight right-hander after that left. And it's completely blind to the driver as well, so they have to know it's there and they have to make sure they don't go too wide going through turn 2. Now the kink here at turn 3 makes life very, very difficult coming into the S's, because they have to brake virtually on the apex of turn 3 before turning into turn 4. And turn 4 sets them up on the wrong side of the road for turn 5, which is this carousel section there, double apex. They take it as one corner. Now to the final left-right flick before the back straight. Now the nerves are going to be building. Tension
I think
is
this is a
rising.
parade lap first. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. We'll look at the safety car if it enters the pits.
Well, the lights are already up,
Yeah.
so I think they might go. I'm not too sure. But yeah, the tension is still rising. The nerves are getting built up right now.
Yeah.
The safety car is pulled off. And now Saiful Arifin Ilham Halabi should have the control of the speed of the grid coming into the start. Now he's going to take off. They've got to watch themselves. They can't cross before the lights go red and green. They're off. It's a green flag start, a little bit late from the race director. He wants to make sure everyone gets through the first corner safely. They're all gently, nicely through the corner. But Ilham Halabi has gone off the track. He's gone too wide into turn 1 and he's gone off the road. Let's give in Jezrin Jali the opportunity to not only go past Saiful Arifin but inherit the lead from Ilham Alabi. That's a disaster from Ilham. He will try and get back onto the back into the pack and try and overtake there. Car 30 stopped on the exit of turn 2. That's very unfortunate. I believe that might be Munfai Leong, but we'll get a confirmation on that fairly soon. But that was a disaster for Ilham Halabi. He had to pull right off the track there. He just outbraked himself coming into turn 1. And now Jeswin Jali is trying to gap the field, trying to pull away from Saiful Arifin. Lloyd Lachlan is there in 3rd position. He's trying to hang on to the top 2 drivers. Adi Rangi has managed to get a good start into 4th position. Shami Azri is in 5th, followed by Kavinder Singh, Sanir Hanapia, Dominic Ang, Mohammed Mohamed, and Hanazul Elizam. That is the top of the leaderboard. It's been a clean start, so Paduka has been all right in the race director's box there. He's making sure everything is going right by the rule book. And Vinder Singh goes in for the overtake. He's hard on the brakes there. Can he close out Shami Azri? Yes, he has. Now piling down into the 3rd corner, we see Adi Rabi. He's trying to line up a pass, trying to get as close as he can to Lloyd Lachlan. You can see how close everyone is still. He's going to be very careful through here. There's a lot of time to be gained or lost through here, and you can see that Jeswin Jali has lost quite a bit of time in the braking zone coming into there. Everyone else can see where he's braking, so the accordion effect is in full swing here. That's when the car in front brakes a little bit early and the cars behind begin to brake later and later, so they get closer and closer when they get back onto the straight. Now Adi Rahmi is in a fantastic little viewing position to see the top 3 here. They might see a lead change on this lap. We're not too sure. They're going to go steaming down the hill. Adi Rahmi is half a second behind, but the top 3 are only covered by 6/10 of a second. Saiful Arifin manages to get closer and closer to Jeswin Jali. Jeswin's run a little bit wide on the exit of the corner. That's his preferred line, but it might give Saiful Arifin a little bit of an idea as to where he's putting the car on the track there. He really whacks the car over the barriers, Jeswin Jali does, over the curbs rather. And now again, they're going to brake before this kink, just so that they can brake for this corner properly. You can see all the cars bunching up. You can see Adi is definitely quicker through the first half of the lap, but Jeswin Jali and Saiful Arifin are quicker through the second half of the lap. So we might see Saiful Arifin get closer and closer. Adi is right behind. He's got a challenger in Kelvinder Singh behind him. He's going to now watch not only what's happening at the front of the track in front of him, but also behind him as well. Kelvinder Singh is very, very close, only 0.3 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. That is a blink of an eye between those 2 cars. So will Kelvinder Singh go for it into turn 1? That's going to be the big overtaking opportunity for a lot of these guys, but it looks like Lloyd Lachlan is going for a pass. He's side by side with Saiful Arifin. This is for 2nd position. They are side by side now. Saiful Arifin has the better line coming into turn 2. Looks like Lloyd Lachlan have to give up that position. It's side by side racing all up and down the field, but Lloyd Lachlan is still all over the back of Saiful Arifin. Coming up into the start of the S's. He's got to watch himself now. And he is right behind him as well. So that's a 3-way battle for 3rd position. But it looks like Adi might have to lose out a little bit coming out of the S's. Lloyd Lachlan looks very, very quick coming out of the S's here. He's going to try and set up a pass. He won't be able to do it on this particular corner. Adi Rahmi has to watch out for Kelvinder Singh behind him. Now it looks like Kelvinder is getting closer and closer, but not quite close enough for an overtaking maneuver this time around. They've just about settled into a bit of a rhythm now, so there's not going to be much overtaking maneuver there, but it looks like Samir Hanapia is trying to go for a gap. But Shami Azri doesn't give him any sort of room whatsoever. It is the right of the car in front to make one blocking maneuver, but no more when it comes to overtaking. But it looks like Dominic Ang and Malvinderjit Singh are in the wars. They are side by side coming into the second turn. It looks like Melvin Legit has the place, but he won't be able to hold it if he goes off the track there. And it looks like Dominic has managed to get past him. Hanazul has managed to get past him, along with Dominic Ang as well. So Andre Amdar is now overtaken Lloyd Lachlan. There's something wrong with Lloyd's car. He was up there battling for second position, but there appears to be a problem with Lloyd's car, so now he's parked on the side of the track. That's not very good news indeed. I don't know if that's mechanical failure or sim related, but that goes to show that you definitely need everything to go out. And there's a big accident there on the start straight. Lloyd Lachlan is out. He has retired from the race. Meanwhile, Kavinder Singh is trying to find a way past Adi, who's managed to overtake him. But Adi's gone wide, so will Kavinder Singh be able to get the run into turn 2 to get past? It looks like Adi has covered him off in the outside, but does that open the door for the inside? No, it doesn't. Adi, wise beyond his years, he's definitely learned a thing or two from his father, and covers Kavinder Singh off very, very well through there. Kelvin, no shrinking violet himself. He is quite capable of being aggressive and yet very, very precise indeed into those overtaking zones. Kelvin is now getting closer and closer. Will he try for another overtaking maneuver through turn 1? Adi manages to hold him off for this lap, but will he be able to do that for several laps? This is only 7 minutes into a 45-minute race. There's been action all up and down the field as well. It looks like Adi has managed to keep himself ahead of Kelvin, diving into the first corner. Meanwhile, Hanuzul Elizam is in a 3-way battle for 10th position. We have Paducah, and we just had Paducah come up on our Discord server there. Paducah, ada apa-apa pengumuman? Okay, so far nothing to report, but meanwhile Dominic Ang is in 10th position there. There's a big 3-way fight in 10th position with Hanuzul Elizam and Andre Ambadar. It looks like Hanuzul and Melvin has managed to get past Andre. Dominic Ang in 9th position. And it looks like Dominic Ang has managed to gain a bit of a gap there. There must have been a bit of a ding-dong battle between Hanuzul Elizam and Novinderjit Singh going through there. But we'll see. Kelvinder Singh is getting closer and closer to Adi. This battle has been going for quite a few laps now, but you see the problem up ahead. The top 2 drivers are pulling away as much as they can. Meanwhile, Kelvin is putting on the pressure to Adi. He is a bit of an intimidator type driver. Kelvin is quite happy to sit behind the driver and pile on the pressure if he has to try and get that mistake from Adi. But Adi, a real-life circuit racer himself, would be quite used to this sort of level of pressure. He will try and keep the car in front of Kelvin at all costs. But Kelvin goes for a dive. Will he be able to do it? No, he won't. But it looks like Kelvin is getting very, very close indeed. You can see just mere meters separate Kelvin and Adi's car there, going through the carousel section and through the top curves and into the back straight. Now Hanuzul Elizam is now trying to catch up with Dominic Ang as well further down in the battle for 8th position. Hanuzul is steadily creeping up, and there's the ever-present threat of Melvin Najit Singh right behind there, 1.3 seconds behind, but Hanuzul gets onto the main straight. Will he be able to draft his way behind Dominic and try and close up the gap? No, he won't. He decides not to go for a look into the inside, but he does definitely tend to take a tighter line going through there and a wider line coming out. So Hanuzul Elizam trying different lines, different strategies through that corner to try and make the overtake. Meanwhile, Tunku Ezan Lay has managed to get pass Hafizul Jai in their little battle for 10th, for 11th and 12th position. 7.9 seconds further behind Malvinderjit Singh, and it looks like Dikwez Anlay has managed to get a bit of a gap going from Jai. These two men know themselves, know each other very, very well indeed. Samir Aizan is now just 0.3 of a second behind Muhammad Muhaimin. Will this be another overtaking opportunity? Muhaimin is in the danger zone. He's less than half a second ahead of Samir. So Samir Aizan has to really, really plan his move out. Meanwhile, Adi Rahman covers off Kulvinder Singh at the head of the field, in third position. But Samir Aizan, I do apologise, is getting closer and closer to Muhaimin. The gap shrinking lap by lap, meter by meter. It's gone from 0.4 seconds to 0.3 seconds just on that straight there. So there's definitely some aerodynamic effect from following these cars. Samir Aizan is definitely picking up the draft, and another man who's picking up the draft is Kulvinder Singh, still piling on the pressure onto Adi, but Adi, wise beyond his years, is definitely maintaining his pace and holding up well to the pressure that Kelvin is pouring onto him. Adi Rahimi Rashid there, just drops a tire into the dirt. Is this the chance that Kelvin was looking for? It looks like they got through there relatively quickly. It looks like Kelvin is close enough to go for an overtaking maneuver. Will he go for it? No, he gets covered off by Adi, but he tries to go around the outside. Will he make it stick? No, he goes for the undercut. No, that's Kulvinder Singh trying 3 different maneuvers to try and overtake, but Adi manages to cover him off every single time. So now there's another lap before he can get into that first corner braking zone, but Kelvin still piling on the pressure. A big sideways moment there. Was it Kulvinder Singh that cracked first? It looked like he made the first mistake there. Adi has managed to hold up to the intense pressure that Kulvinder's got, and Kulvinder's off the road. There's something wrong with the car there. It locked up a wheel and he just went completely off the road there. So that's Kulvinder out of that particular battle. Meanwhile, Zafri and Dominic Ang are still fighting it away, with Hanuzul Ilzam very uncomfortably close behind them. It looks like Hanuzul might, in fact, be within striking range of Muhammad Zafri. There's action up and down the field, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a fantastic race so far, and it's only been 30 minutes into a 45-minute race, so you can imagine we're not even halfway there. There's still over 30 minutes to go, 32 minutes to go in fact. But Zafri there is right behind, Elizam is right behind Zafri. He's going for the overtake. Will Hanuzul Elizam be able to do it? Oh no, Zafri has got the car very, very sideways, and that was the mistake that Elizam was looking for. Hanuzul Elizam has managed to gain a position and gone into 10th position, while Zafri, Ajab to his mates, has just managed to have a big sideways moment coming to turn 1. He did very well. It was well held, I would have to say. He managed to keep that car on the track. That was fantastic driving. But now he's got another threat from behind. It's Malvinderjit Singh, Melvin as he's known to his friends, getting closer and closer. Meanwhile, Andre Ambadar is now going side by side and manages to take the position from Ruben Wong. That seemed to be a rather easy maneuver there, just going right past there. Meanwhile, Kulvinder Singh has gone into the pit lane. It looks like it might be all over for his challenge at winning the race. Meanwhile, Jazrin Jali and Saiful Arifin are pulling away at a remarkable rate from Adi Remy. Muhammad Muhaimin is in 4th position, but he's still got Samir Aizan and Hanapia behind him. So Muhammad Muhaimin and Samir Aizan are now getting closer and closer together. Muhammad Muhaimin in the Red Bull livery car, Samir Aizan in the do apologize there. What was I? Muhammad Muhaimin is catching up with Samir Aizan in the Rab Pro Drag car. And it looks like they're going to be going for another overtaking maneuver, but it looks like Zafri is not quite done yet with Tunku Ezan Lay. Mr. 10 is now within the grasp of Ajeb himself in the Toda racing car, getting closer and closer to Tunku Ezan Lay.
I think he's closer to Melvin.
Melvin? Ah, yes, that it is. Tunku Lay is about 9 seconds behind there. Do apologise, but it looks like Zafri is trying to bring the fight to him, but it looks like Melvin is just a little bit too quick.
Let's look what happened to Ilham.
So at the start of the race, Ilham Halabi, of course, starting from pole position, but now he's in 21st position. And it looked like he just went wide at turn 1 there. Remarkably clean start from everyone. It's obviously Paduka doing his job there in race control, managed to get everyone off safely, so a special thanks to him for that. But Ilham Halabi went a bit wide through turn 1 and unfortunately lost all those positions, and now he's going to have to try and hot lap that Ford Falcon and really push as hard as he can to try and catch up with the tail end of the group in front of him and try and overtake as many cars as he can.
Best time for the event, for the race.
Oh yeah, he's pushing as hard as he can. It's a 1:11.6. That's more like a qualifying time than a race time. He wants to try and gain as much positions back as he can. We know Ilham Halabi is quick enough to win, but unfortunately with that mistake and with the level of competition right now, it's going to be a tall order. Saif Arifin now dealing with traffic. He's managed to get through. There's a spin in front of him. It's all happening going through turn 1, but he manages to stay in second position. He's trying to catch up with Jazrin Jali. Now they're getting into traffic, lapped traffic. It's going to be very critical to see if Jazrin Jali can deal with the traffic better than Saiful Arifin. They've got to be very decisive going past these drivers, and they've got to be very, very careful as well. They don't want to have any sort of incidents. That was Michael, one of our regular co-commentators, giving them enough room to be lapped. When you are a lap down, you have to pull over for the leaders and let them pass. It's not only in racing etiquette, but as regulations as well. But Jazrin Jali managed to clear the lap traffic, but Saiful Arifin much, much closer, and Adi Rahmi also very, very close indeed. Only a second separates the top 3 cars now. That's the effect of lap traffic. If the leader gets bogged down in lap traffic and the guys behind him manage to find a clearer way through, that means that the leader is now within striking range from Saiful Arifin. And Saiful is very quick indeed. Jazrin Jali had a bit of a mistake there. He got the car sideways and overcorrected it, just about kept it on the field, and Saiful Arifin is going to go. This is for the lead of the race. He's going around the outside. Will he be able to make it? No. But he is now so close. It's less of hundredths of a second separate them as Saiful Arifin goes into the S's, following very closely behind with Jazrin Jali. You can see how close the cars are. You can virtually read the subtext on the boot of Jazrin Jali's car. This is as close as you could possibly get without hitting each other. Good, clean, very, very fantastic racing so far. But Saiful Arifin wants that lead. He will not stop at anything in order to try and get that lead. One more corner before he gets onto the front stretch. Jazrin Jali there a little bit slower. Saiful Arifin maybe a little bit quicker, but Jazrin gets a little bit of a better run out. But now it's drafting time. Can Saiful Arifin pick up that draft? Coming into the first corner, will he go for the overtake? No. Saiful Arifin decides not to go for it. Saiful and Jazrin now locked in a battle for the lead. This is very, very tense stuff. We're only getting into the 20-minute point of the race, but it looks like Saiful Arifin very, very close to Jazrin Jali. He left the braking absolutely to the latest point there, almost ran into the back of Jazrin, but manages to keep the cars in control. He's getting closer and closer. We're going to be very, very careful indeed going through the chicane here, or through the S's here rather. It looks like Saiful Arifin backed off a little bit, but Jazrin Jali had another mistake through there. Will that be critical in him losing the race? Calvin Ha right now having a watching brief behind. He's a lap down, but He's definitely got prime front row seats to the lead battle up ahead. Jezrin Jali now has just pulled out a little bit more of a lead going through that lap compared to the previous one, but Saifur Arifin still in the danger zone. Adi Rami is behind as well.
This is a battle for first.
Yes. All three cars are within striking position of the first place. Adi Rami is taking advantage of the fact that the top two are fighting with each other. When you are fighting with each other, you can't really put the car in the ideal racing line. You tend to slow down not only yourself but the guy you're fighting with, and that gives you an opportunity for a dark horse to appear and try and take advantage. So Adi Rami was outside of the striking range, and now he is within it. He is 0.6 of a second behind Saifur Arifin. Saifur Arifin is within 0.3 of a second behind Jezrin Jali. Basically parks the car on the exit there, trying to disrupt the flow of Saifur Arifin, doing as much as he can. Jezrin is going to try and pull away from Saiful as much as he can to try and get that lead. Hanzul Islam, meanwhile, in 7th position, still chasing Dominic Ang. He will not let this go. He is determined to get past Dominic, pushing as hard as he can. It looks like he is also in the danger zone. They're going to try and go through the final corner as fast as they possibly can. There's traffic up ahead. This might be a chance for Hanzul Islam to overtake. Will he think of doing it? It looks like he's a bit too far away to try. And he decides not to. He decides to try and deal with traffic. But it looks like Dominic has got caught up behind Calvin Ha. There's just nowhere for the two drivers to go. Tamizi Yusuf, meanwhile, going onto the front stretch. He is lining up a pass on Azman Abdullah. He's 0.4 of a second away. It might be just a little bit too far away in order to overtake, but he's going to try and reduce the gap as much as he can. He's got the benefit of the driver in front, his brake lights and his braking position. Looks like Tamizi Yusuf is getting closer and closer. Will he be able to get a run on the inside, soon to be the outside of the corner? No, Azman manages to basically park the car on the left-hand side of the road there, but he's going too wide. He's going too wide. They're going side by side, and Tamizi Yusuf overtake Azman Abdullah around the outside and into the S's. That's some fantastic driving there, just piling on the pressure to the point when the driver in front simply cannot hold on too long. Meanwhile, Kalvinder Singh had a bit of a problem, as we saw in coming into the S's. The car simply didn't respond. I think it might have been a sim equipment issue or maybe a car issue. But now he's back out on track. He has got the same problem Ilham Halabi does. And he's going to try and fight his way to the front of the field. And in the meantime, we have Hanzul Alizam, and it looks like Adi Rahmi Rashid, meanwhile, has overtaken Saiful Arifin. They're still fighting through there. Ilham Halabi is trying desperately to unlap himself if he can. But Adi Rahmi is in 2nd position. And he's managed to put...
opened up. I don't know what happened.
So it looked like that might have been a bit of an issue with the lap traffic. Again, lap traffic is going to be very, very critical going around here, because when you encounter lap traffic, it can be an advantage to get past them and leave the other guy stuck behind him. Although at the same time, it could be a disadvantage as well, because you get slowed down and the other guy has a chance of overtaking you. Added to the mix is that Ilham Halabi is a very, very quick driver as well. He is quite capable of winning the race on his own if he has to. So, and Ilham Halabi is desperate. So we're going to see what Saiful Arifin... Oh, he's lost it going to turn 1. Big oversteer moment there. Half spins the car, and that explains why the other drivers managed to overtake him. Luckily, only one car on the lead lap was in that train of cars, but that is very, very unfortunate for Saiful Arifin. He just cracked under the pressure. Adi definitely going up the field there. Very impressive stuff from Adi Rahimi, who's being chased now by Ilham Halabi. It's not going to be too much of trouble for Adi, simply because Ilham is a lap down, so he can't do anything too crazy to Adi. And Adi, of course, can afford to let him go past.
Situation, right?
No. Not quite. It's the other way around. Ilham Halabi is now chasing Adi because Ilham is in a fairly quick car, so he could unlap himself if he chooses to.
Yeah. But,
But-
as Adi, does he have the right to hold his position, or
Adi has all the right to hold his position, although tactically it might be better for Adi if he lets him pass. Because if he lets Ilham Halabi pass, then he won't have to deal with him for another few more laps. So it is an interesting situation that Adi finds himself in. He is perfectly entitled to keep Ilham Halabi behind, and Ilham Halabi isn't allowed to try and do anything too drastic to overtake. But if Adi does wave him past, then that would be, I think, okay under the regulations. Meanwhile, we're on board, or tracking rather, Jezrin Jali, who is comfortably in the lead after all that dramatics. Saiful Arifin had a big spin. Adi is now dealing with a rather quick back marker, and now that gives Jezrin Jali enough of a breathing room to try and open up the lead.
okay? I got an info from Lloyd Laughlin. His PC died.
Oh dear! So we've had a mechanical failure from Lloyd Laughlin. His, if you want to put it that way, his ECU is dead. But there was a car trying to rejoin the race right in front of Jezrin Jali. That was pretty poor timing there, and that's brought Adi right behind Jezrin Jali. Will we have another change of position for the lead? That appeared to be a car that had a back marker that either spun or rejoined the track in front of Jezrin Jali, and that has slowed him down immensely. That's the thing with a lot of traffic. As you can see in the mini-map on the right-hand side of the screen, there is a lot of cars on track. It's bumper-to-bumper action. It's almost like a high-speed rush hour sort of situation, but Adi is going to try and lap the car in front. Along with Jezrin Jali, he manages to succeed. Jezrin Jali will try and keep a car between him and Adi if he can help it, but it looks like the other car there is going into the pits, so he'll be fine. Jezrin Jali and Adi Rami managed to get through the traffic with no problems, and Ilham Halabi there cheekily following the top two there, perhaps making a bit of a statement on his pace, but still no foul play there. But Adi Rami, Jezrin Jali has gone wide. Is this Adi's chance to try and overtake? Jezrin Jali has gone wide. He managed to park the car on the exit to try and slow down Adi, but it looks like Adi's got the pace advantage. They go through turn 2, nose to tail. Will Adi be able to overtake? He's only 0.2 of a second. That's less than a blink of an eye, ladies and gentlemen. That's how close in terms of time between Jezrin and Adi. All three cars there, Jezrin, Adi and Ilham Halabi, the lapped car, very, very close in pace. I know that Ilham Halabi has the fastest lap so far, but it looks like Jezrin Jali and Adi Rami very, very close together. Will Jezrin Jali be able to pull out a gap to the front? It looks like Adi is still close enough to stay within the aerodynamic toe of the car in front, but it looks like Jezrin Jali has managed to pull a bit of a lead. Now we've got to be a little bit careful with the cars coming in and out of the pits. There's still the question of pit strategy. Will any of these cars be heading into the pit? Ilham Halabi there, definitely pushing as hard as he can. He wants to be at the front of the line on the lead lap if he can help it. Meanwhile, Kelvinder Singh is trying and pushing as hard as he can. He is right behind Rashid Raidal right now, so there's going to be a good chance that Kelvinder might be able to dispatch Rashid, getting as close as he can to the car in front there. And it looks like 0.3 of a second. It might be possible for Kelvinder Singh to begin to carve his way back up through the field and perhaps try and go for that top 10 position. He's in 18th position, he's way down the order compared to what he is capable of doing. But Rashid Raidal definitely not giving him an easy time, as this is right. Rashid is going to fight and try to maintain the position as much as he can, but he has made a bit of a mistake. Will Kelvinder be able to go past? They go side by side down the hill. Will Kelvinder Singh manage to get the overtake done before the braking zone? No. So they're both going to try and outbrake each other coming into the turn one, but Kelvinder managed to make that move stick and block off Rashid in order to try and get the cars mass right in front of Rashid Rydell, and Kelvinder Singh manages to dispatch Rashid with ease. Dominic Ang is now right behind Melvin, aka Malvinderjit Singh. They're half a second between the two of them. They've been Dominic Ang has been trying very hard to run away from Samir Haizan behind him, and now he's managed to get a bit of a gap. He's going to now try and look ahead, and it looks like Dominic Ang has managed to overtake a few cars in the pits. That's good news for them, but he's going to try and catch Malvinderjit Singh. He's still over half a second away, but we'll be keeping an eye on that. Meanwhile, Hanuzul Alizam is still not going to let Muhammad Muhaimin get away with anything. They're still going to fight this out all the way to the checker flag, but they've managed to move up in the leaderboards. But it looks like Hanuzul has to go in for the pits. This is when the pit strategy is going to play its way out, with Jezrin Jali now in the lead, half a second away from Adi Rahmi. This is going to be a very, very close battle for all of these cars. Mohammad Muhaimin is 15 seconds behind, so it is a battle between first and second position. Will Adi be able to play the long game and make that overtake stick? 32 minutes gone out of a 45-minute race. So we have only about 13 minutes left to go in the race, and you can see Adi is getting closer and closer to Jezrin Jali. This battle has been ebbing and flowing. It's a high-speed chess match right now. Does Eddie want to hold on for as long as he can? And here's another critical factor. The top three have not yet had their pit stops, so this could be a real challenge for the top three to try and keep themselves ahead. It looks like Jezrin Jali and Adi Rami might have enough of a gap to the car behind in order to make this strategy stick. Muhammad Muhaimin decides to bail and go into the pits, so there's not a lot of time left for these two out in front. But it looks like Jezrin Jali has now managed to gain a bit of a gap to Adi. Tyre wear is going to be a real issue as well, because this is what we mean by a high-speed chess game, whether the tyres can last the entire time of the battle. Meanwhile, Rashid Rydell is right on the back of Azrael Nazli, or is he? No, he's not. Kelvinder Singh is right in the back of Rashid Rydell. I do have to apologise there. There's so much action going up and down the leaderboard. It's been absolutely insane. Fantastic racing all over the field, and you see Kelvinder Singh is right behind Rashid Rydell. This is a replay of the battle they had earlier in the race. Will Kelvinder Singh be able to get past Rashid Rydell? They're absolutely close to it, and it looks like Rashid is going to try and cover the inside. Will Kelvinder Singh be able to out-drag Rashid around? And yes, he does. But Rashid Rydell also pulling into the pits. This is when the pit stops are really playing out. You can see a lot of the cars coming into the pits and going out of the pits. Jezrin Jali has already gone into the pits, so he has gone for the undercut in comparison to Adi Rahmi. And it looks like Adi Rahmi will try and push the car as fast as he can in order to gain as much of a gap as possible for his pit stop. But if Jezrin Jali does this right, he's on fresh tyres. He can push as hard as he can now to try and gain the lead. Maintain it and keep it after the pit stops. Meanwhile, Ilham Halabi also has his own little agenda. He's going to go and try and regain the lead lap and try and bring himself back up the order. Whew, this has been an amazing race so far. Dominic Ang is now fighting very, very hard to try and get around Malvinderjit Singh. These guys have been battling since the start of the race. It looks like they're going to go side by side. Hundredths of a second between them. Melvin and Dominic going to go into the second corner. Dominic is on the outside. Melvin's on the inside. Melvin manages to cover off Dominic, but Dominic is still there. Will he be able to go for the dive into the flat-out right-hand king? No, but Melvin gets the car very, very wide, very, very sideways, and Dominic Ang manages to get past. So Dominic Ang manages to go into 6th position, and it looked like Melvin just got pressured and pressured and pressured and pressured, and he made a mistake, and that was what Dominic Ang was looking for. 35 minutes of racing, and finally he's got the position he needs it in 6th position. Hanusal Izam now is right behind Muhammad Muhaimin, and Hanusal is not letting Muhaimin get away with anything. Now there's traffic at play here, so Hanusal is going to lose out a little bit in the braking zone coming here. He's a bit of a lock-up, but he's managed to keep the car relatively close to Muhammad Muhaimin, who's now in 3rd position. This is a battle for the podium positions, and it looks like Adi Ramin is gone into the pits and out again in 5th position, so he's lost big time when it comes to pit lane strategy. Jezrin Jali is now back up in the lead, followed by Stifle Arifin and Muhammad Muhaimin. So that explains why these guys who are fighting for 5th and 6th are now back up to 3rd and 4th. But Hanuzul is trying to catch Muhammad Muhaimin. He's chasing Muhaimin everywhere. He's going to try and follow him as much as possible. His entire game plan and strategy will be all based on whether Muhammad Muhaimin goes into the pits or not, or does anything on track or not. Hanuzul is getting closer and closer. Will he be able to get the aerodynamic toe, the draft down the main straight? Will he be able to help that out? The top 8 have now done their pit stops, and it looks like no, Hanuzul is still a little bit too far away, but he's still piling on the pressure to Muhammad Muhaimin. But it looks like Hanuzul cracked there a little bit, got the car sideways, managed to save it. It's getting closer and closer. It's 37 minutes down out of the 45, so definitely coming up to 7 or 8 minutes left to go in the race. Zikri Ahmad there, Muhammad Zikri in the Vodafone Ford Falcon, 18th position. He's chasing Azman Abdullah. Will he be able to catch him? Doesn't look to be the case, but it looks like Azman is pulled across almost to let him by. So that's interesting strategy. Perhaps he knows that Muhammad Zikri is just come out of the pits on fresher tyres perhaps, but we'll track that along. Azrael Nazli now going for the overtaking maneuver on Muhammad Ahmad in heavy traffic, manages to pull off the move. That's amazing stuff. Azrael Nazli manages to get past Cheryl, and yeah, unbelievable stuff, using the traffic that's parked on the apex of the corner in order to pull off an overtaking maneuver, and now he's pulling away in the stream.my Holden Commodore. Azrael Nazli will be trying to push as hard as he can to try and catch Tunku Ezan Lay in traffic. But right now there's a couple of cars up ahead between him and them, so we'll see Mohamed Zafri's in trying to catch Tunku Janle. I do apologise. Ajab himself. They've been battling for quite a bit now as well. Over 20 minutes of just hardcore give and take racing. There's not going to be a lot of give and take at the end here if this keeps going. We are almost 5 minutes to go in the race, lap 33. So there's going to be quite a real rush to the line there. There's only going to be enough time for maybe perhaps 2 or 3 laps to go. But there's some absolutely exciting race going on up and down the field. Shamir Aizan is still fighting with Malvinajit Singh. They have also been having a race-long battle. 6 tenths separate Shamir Hanapia and Malvinajit Singh, so Melvin's going to be really careful now. Shamir will be pushing as hard as he can. Shamir Aizan sees Melvin locking up the wheels. He knows that's an opportunity to pass, so it's going to be absolutely nip and tuck. They're going into the S's there, and again, it's going to just be a pressure situation. Meanwhile, we see there's also a battle for third position as well, which is getting closer and closer. Hanasul Elizam will not let Muhammad Muhaimin get away with anything. Muhaimin is pushing as hard as he can. He's on the grass, both of them trying to overtake. But Hanasul was getting closer and closer and closer, and it looks like once they've cleared the traffic, he's lost a little bit of an advantage there. So meanwhile, Samir Aizan is getting closer and closer to Melvin. It looks like they're going to go for an overtake. Hanasul there just making sure he's seen in the mirrors. And it looks like there's an incident there. A big incident between two lapped cars which have really disrupted the whole thing. And it looks like there's a car that was just in between there. That was Adi Rami, who's right behind Hanasul Elizam and Muhammad Muhaimin. So now, not only does Hanasul try to overtake Muhaimin, but Adi is right behind. He's trying to go around the outside. Will he be able to make it? No, he won't. He's got Abdullah right behind him, a lapped car, along with Dali as well. Meanwhile, Hanasul Elizam is in third position and gaining on Muhammad Muhaimin. There's been another change in position there. Adi Rami is in fourth. So now it's a battle for second. Jasmine Jali is in the lead, but only by 3 seconds. So will these guys work together, or will they be fighting for second position? It looks like Adi is going to go for the overtake on Hanasul Elizam. They will head side by side into turn 1. You can see Jasmine Jali up ahead. Muhammad Muhaimin can see the light at the end of the tunnel almost. Hanasul Elizam goes wide. Will Adi be able to take advantage of this? They're still side by side all the way around turn 1. Adi is pushing as hard as he can. Will he try to outbrake Hanasul? And it looks like they have a little bit of contact there, but that's A-okay. Both cars are still in the race, and Hanasul manages to maintain his position. But Adi is closing and closing in fast, even though he's got a little bit of damage on the car. But it looks like Hanasul got the car really sideways, and Adi virtually has to stop in order to avoid the accident. Fantastic spatial awareness there from Adi Rami to avoid that incident. They both live to fight another day. Meanwhile, Muhammad Muhaimin is benefiting from all of this. He's beginning to pull away, and it looks like Hanasul is now in the clutches of Adi. We'll see if the traffic up ahead slows any of these guys down, but it looks like Jasmine Jali, he's lost a second compared to Muhammad Muhaimin. So there is a chance that at the very end of this race, there's only 2 minutes left. Perhaps only 1 or 2 laps to go before the end of the race, and Jasmine Jali has lost a full second to Muhammad Muhaimin, so that might be a bit of a harbinger of things to come. Meanwhile, Samir Aizan still trying to find a way around Malvinderjit Singh. Melvin goes for the defense, and it looks like that was effective. Samir Aizan couldn't get around there because of the lapped car, but it looks like Samir Aizan got the car really sideways there. That might be a little bit too much of a mistake this late into the race. They won't be able to catch up. I don't think it's 8 tenths, 7 tenths. They will take a mistake from Melvin in order for Samir Aizan to try and catch up again. That was a very costly mistake from Samir Aizan. Meanwhile, Zainul Hazim is now on the tail of Muhammad Zafri, aka Ajib. So Zainul Hazim is now nose to tail. Will he be able to make the overtaking maneuver for Ajib? They're not going to make it too difficult for each other. They're both teammates, so they're going to have to try and work this one out. Into the braking zone. Will Zainul get past Zafri? No. Big lockups and a rather frightening outbraking maneuver there. Both drivers managed to outbrake each other, and that is both of them back on the track again. Samir Hanapia and Malvinderjit Singh, they're both now side by side. Will Samir Aizan, try and get past around the outside? They're still side by side. If he can get all the way around to the exit, he will be able to keep Melvin on the outside of the corner. Will he be able to make the overtake stick through turn 2? Melvin shuts the door right across the front of the bows of Samir Aizan. And now they're nose to tail. They're going to try and catch up with each other as much as they can. 7th and 8th position have never looked that close. Ilham Halabi is now also on the lead lap. He has managed to get himself back onto the lead lap, and now he is behind Movinderjit Singh. Samir Hanapia has gone off the road, and that is Samir Aizan is now really lost quite a bit of time there.
What happened to him? Oh, he
It-
got off track.
Yeah, so it looked like he might have just cracked under the pressure there. We were just wondering as to how that might have happened, but it looks like coming into the braking zone here, very difficult braking zone, and he's just braked a touch too late trying to catch the car in front, and now he's off the track. But that doesn't mean Malvinderjit Singh is safe. Ilham Halabi is now next to him. He's going to try and go.
Race finished.
Meanwhile, Jazrin Jali has managed to overtake Muhammad Muhaimin. Hanazul Ilizam is in 3rd position. So Jazrin Jali is the winner of the race. Muhammad Muhaimin is in 2nd, and Hanazul Ilizam is in 3rd. Whew. There isn't enough time for me to get the words out, ladies and gentlemen. That has been a fantastic race. Whew. Now we have Paduka on the line. Paduka, bagaimana perasaan sekarang?
Okey, agak mencabar kali ni. Kita cuba untuk mencari insiden. Walaupun ada, tapi banyak benda yang kita masih lagi kena study bab-bab ni lah. So kita kena
Pendek dengan berapa?
One lap in double.
untuk siapa yang nak protes kan?
So itulah kita ada sistem protes dengan sistem adjudication semua yang dah ditetapkan. So harap-harap Paduka dapatlah membuat keputusan yang adil, harapannya.
Yep, betul.
Paduka,
cuba stay by.
Jazrin ada dalam Discord tak?
Kita cari dia tadi tapi macam
Macam tak ada
tak ada,
JJ
macam tak
Strider
ada.
Bukan dia? Tu JJ Strider?
JJ Strider, rasanya JJ Strider tu dia kot.
Sekejap.
Yalah, betul lah.
Aku try tarik dia sekejap Macam mana nak tarik?
So itu dia Paduka. Nampaknya race start tu agak clean.
Betul.
Hello,
Ada-
JJ Strider ni Jazrin Jali ke? Ke silap orang?
Tengah mute. Tengah mute lah tu.
Tengah mute? Tak apa.
So-
Aku letak dia balik kat dalam.
So ada apa-apa insiden yang dapat memikau mata Paduka?
Okey, seperti yang dijangkakan, memang rata-ratanya standing start dan juga rolling start ni dia dua format yang berlainan. Yang kita nampak sebenarnya standing start ni lebih banyak insiden berlaku nak dibandingkan dengan rolling start. Mungkin juga sebelum ni mungkin mereka dah terbiasa dengan rolling start, tapi tiba-tiba standing start dia jadi macam mungkin agak kekok. So ada beberapa juga pelumba-pelumba yang ignore tentang blue flag. Mungkin di masa akan datang kita kena lebih lagi memberitahu pada pelumba-pelumba ini. Mungkin kadang-kadang situasi di mana dua situasi kenderaan yang sama sedang bersaing, kemudian ada belakang ni adalah kereta yang one lap. So mungkin juga dia confused, adakah dia perlu memberi laluan pada orang yang laju ni sedangkan dia sedang bersaing dengan orang yang sama pace dengan dia kan. So mungkin kita akan beri briefing lebih lagi untuk dia, bagi dia faham apa yang patut dia buat, apa yang perlu dia buat. So isu ni sangat sedikit, walaupun tadi saya duduk di dalam dalam room yang penuh dengan pelumba. So rata-ratanya komplain dalam keadaan pelumba komplain tentang isu ni lah. Tapi kita akan tambah baik dari masa ke semasa.
Itu dia.
Masa akan datang lah.
So itulah harapannya, kalau selagi lama kita buat event ni, kita dapat pengalaman dan experience apa untuk buat regulation ni, dan harap-harap kita boleh dapatkan produk untuk racers yang memang boleh dinikmati dengan secara penuh lah.
Okay,
Yes, betul.
Paduka, boleh tak confirmkan JJ's rider ni Jazrin Jali ke?
Okay, sekejap
Okay. So we just sent Paduka off there just for a quick second into the pit lane to try and see if he can find our winner, Jazrin Jali. But meanwhile, we're going to have a quick look at the race results. Jazrin Jali has won by 0.4 of a second from Muhammad Muhammad, with Hanuzul Ilzam in third position. In fourth, Adi Rahimi Rashid. Absolutely fantastic result from him and the SSAD Go Racing team. Saifur Refin is in fifth position, followed by Dominic Ang and Malvinderjit Singh, who had that ding-dong battle between two of them. Ilham Halabi has managed to stage an impressive comeback to come in eighth position. Samir Hanapia has managed to get himself into ninth, followed by Tarmizi Yusuf in the Android King SSAD car in 10th place. And in 11th, we have Kalvinder Singh, Tinku Izan Lay, and Zainul, with Zafri, Azman Abdullah, Sharin Fudin, Muhammad Ahmad, and Azril Nazli in 18th position. Paduka dapat cari dia?
Dapat jumpa?
Ya, kita tak dapat nak pastikan adakah itu dia sebab dia tak respon walaupun kita dah message dia.
It's okay. Next time kita nak try practice the post race punya activity sikit kan.
Ya.
Ataupun kita try cari the second
Muhaimin.
Muhaimin ada kan?
Boleh? Sekejap
Aku tarik dia. Aku boleh tarik.
Tarik dia.
Sekejap,
Sebelum dia keluar.
Okay, kau interview dia.
Okay, Muhaimin. Apa khabar?
Khabar baik.
Apa perasaan dapat podium position pada sekarang ni?
Aduh, sangat teruja. Gembira.
Oh, mesti
macam-macam drama.
So ada apa-apa insiden yang paling menakutkan pada masa nak cuba dapatkan podium position pada masa ni?
Ada tadi half race kena langgar dengan back marker yang unsafe entry kot. Tadi T1.
Oh, itu yang bahaya sikit dengan T1 ya.
Drop ke 6th position rasa. Sebelum pit. Tu lah.
Tapi dapat juga lawan balik.
So kita nak tanya satu soalan sekejap. Apa beza yang anda rasa di antara rolling start dan juga standing start?
Rolling start ni rasa lagi safe lah. Sebab semua dah on pace sendiri, semua maintain je speed tu. Terus ke T1. Kalau banding dengan standing tu, ada yang spin masa launching tu, tu yang jadi 3 wide, 4 wide ke T1 tu.
Adakah harus dikekalkan format rolling start ni untuk race di masa akan datang pada pandangan Muhaimin?
Harus untuk track yang kecil macam ni, harus. Kita tengok based on track nanti.
Right. Terima kasih.
So untuk bandingkan Muhaimin, kira kalau track besar mungkin dapatlah standing start, tapi track kecil-kecil macam ni kena terpaksa lah pakai rolling start dia.
Betul.
So ada apa-apa harapan untuk dapatkan podium position yang lebih lagi di dalam masa championship yang akan datang?
Aduh, harap tu lah. Sebab semua power tu, ramai tadi power yang crash lah macam-macam lah tu, dapat lagi baik kat position ni.
Ya, itu dia. So itulah harap nanti boleh dapat posisi yang lagi satu yang naik.
Itu dia harap satu.
Ya.
Thanks.
Alright, okay. Thank you semua. Thank you host. Thank you penganjur.
Alright.
Okay, terima kasih.
Okay semua.
Dan Michael Hafiz pun sudah sampai.
Okay Matt, terima kasih Matt. Terima kasih kerana komentator seorang. Mesti kau haus gila Matt. Nanti jumpa bila Cil belanja air. So memang hari ni perlombaan yang kedua lah. Yang official, kalau ikutkan official, perlombaan yang pertama lah untuk Cil. Agak baik hari ni, tak ada towing. Tak ada sesi towing menowing, so tak adalah tinggal banyak lap sangat, tapi memang 2 lap di belakang leader. Satu first tadi memang sebab first lap tu terciduk naik bukit tak apa-apa. baru first lap dah naik bukit. Lepas tu lambat recover semua kan.
Yeah,
Lepas tu ada sekali dua lah lepas tu lah. Dan lepas tu memang okey bila jumpa apa yang laju, kebanyakannya Cil bagi diorang lepas. Cuma mungkin ada beberapa lah mungkin terblok ke apa ke, minta maaf. So semua sekali race malam ni sangatlah baik. Macam mana Mat punya pandangan, Mat?
Daripada permulaan sampai ke habisan tak berhenti cakap. Memang ada battle dia.
Kita ni lah, kita try ajak ni Melvin, dia banyak action hari ni, kita ajak dia buat sekejap.
Yeah.
Okay,
boleh.
Tarik dia.
Ini yang kuasa director. This is the power of our director. He can just pull people into the stream.
Hello Melvin dia.
Hello.
So
Hello,
how's your
ini-
run?
Ini memang alien.
Apa hal aku pula?
Jam orang dengan kau.
Ya kena stres dengan ni
Banyak action dengan kau hari ni tau.
Dia
So-
push aku kuat, kau dia push aku.
Banyak kena
Berpeluh.
jocor hari ni.
Iyalah.
Berpeluh.
So apa pandangan dengan track summit point ni?
Oh panas. Panas sampai aku boleh berpeluh. Susah nak control lah. Kereta aku macam tayar dah out lah. Half race dah out. Kena save tayar halfway, then last baru boleh push. Dengan masa kena dengan Syamir tu push lah.
So dengan Syamir tu macam mana boleh dia punya battle tu? Nampaknya macam separuh race tu. Penat saya cakap.
Ada apa lah, aku follow je racing line aku.
Tapi
Tak
nampak
kisah dia kat belakang lah, tapi ada lah check relative. Tengok 0.3 second, then I start to defend. I start to check the mirrors lah.
yeah, so you managed to keep everything under control, under pressure, no stressful situations. You think that's a
Yeah.
good, important thing for being a proper sim racer, just keeping the mental game in check?
Yeah, I think it is helps in the mental development during pressurized situation such
Yeah.
as being chased by someone.
Yeah.
I think yesterday's practice was good because Muhaimin chased me like how Shami did today. So I managed to hold
Yeah.
the line.
At some points, genuinely did look like an initial D cartoon. It was that.
I almost crashed at T1. So,
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay, thanks. Melvin.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
We have Ajab. Ajab mute lah.
Alamak, Ajab mute pula. Ajab boleh tolong unmute jap. Alamak, dia tak dengar tak. Mungkin dia tengah setting balik, tapi itulah. Apakah perasaan Michael pada performance Todak Racing, team Todak pada malam ni?
Okey, macam yang apa Ajab cakap, malam ni bukan track ni bukan track favourite dia. So Jeb agak pressure sebab apa membawa livery Todak hari ni, tapi
Ada
dia cakap
tiga
dia
livery Todak hari ni je kan?
campur Todak Motorsport
Tak,
Ke
dia
Todak
warna putih ni yang dengan ni dengan seorang ni. Tu. 28.
lemur berapa? Tak pasti
Ada
ni.
random lah, ada orang pilih Todaknya livery ya.
Ya, sebab apa terima kasih dekat Pico Media sebab apa membuat livery cantik, membuatkan apa race ni meriah dengan sponsor-sponsor macam Todak, macam SSAD. Lepas tu kita ada Android King, kita ada apa RK Kilat apa semua tu kan. So memang meriah race macam ni. Macam ni yang kita nak. So kita boleh tengok branding apa yang aktif dekat Malaysia sekarang ni dengan motorsport. So tengok tu terpotong dengan
SSC
memang
Adi hari ni power lah Adi. Adi Sona.
Adi memang power. Hari tu pun dia menang nombor berapa juga kot. So apa tahniah diucapkan kepada tim SSD. Ramai hari ni dalam 4 ke 3 orang.
2 ke 3
Tim SSD
Itu
Rashid.
ya.
Rashid Rydal, Eddie Rahimi dengan Rashdan Dan rasanya.
Hmm.
So hari ni baru dapat feel. Baru dapat feel, dapat kawal kereta ni. Tak adalah terciduk banyak sangat. So at least dalam 45 minit tu hanya 3 kali je rasanya mistake yang menyebabkan slow kan. So tak adalah kena towing. Kalau towing tu kita dah rugi banyak gila masa. So yang ni mungkin memang tak boleh nak catch up pun face orang depan tu sebab dia orang laju. So chill, play safe, cuba habiskan race sebaik yang mungkin untuk kita enjoy benda ni. So terima kasih kepada Adrenaline Impact, Mat Palmer, Khairul Alang dan juga kawan-kawan yang support. So pemenang hari ni akan mendapat hadiah sagu hati. Walaupun tempat utama tak ada, kita ada apa gift daripada Todak Motorsport. Kita
Dah
ada
2 cap dah menang je.
siapa menang ni? Pico.
Jazrin
Ha?
kan?
Jazrin Jali.
Jazrin menang kan?
Jazrin Jali. So Jazrin Jali akan membuat koleksi cap Todak di Sarawak ke Sabah?
Nanti aku belum post, boleh lah nanti sekali.
So tahniah diucapkan.
So
Enjoy.
Ilham kesian ke Ilham?
Ilham
ya.
ada
Dia
apa isu?
nombor 1 ni kan?
Dia start dekat pole position tapi ada masalah dekat selekor pertama dan terkeluar off track sampai ke pasir. So itu yang dia hampir ke belakang sebelum dia dapat rejoin balik.
Okay.
Kita tengok starting dulu.
So itu dia Ilham Labi. Result ada lagi ke? Tadi. Okay, Ilham Labi masuk dalam, nampaknya macam dia tersilap break. Miss breaking point.
Tapi
Sejuk lagi ke?
tayar sejuk lagi. Memang untuk first lap tu tayar sejuk lagi, tak boleh nak push macam dah panas.
Itu dia tersilap.
Mungkin dia ni kot internet connection dia pun
itulah, dia punya blinking tu podium banyak kali dah sebelum ni.
hilang.
Itulah.
So nasib baik ada hanya 2 insiden pada masa starting, tapi ada insiden yang lagi satu. Baca apa terjadi pada insiden yang pertama tu dekat selekor pertama. First lap.
Sama dekat turn 1.
Dekat turn 1 juga.
Rewind. Apa jadi?
Turn 1 tu terciduk sendiri. Lepas tu tinggal seorang tu. Hari tu yang lama sangat.
Oi, naik bukit.
Masalahnya dia duduk dekat atas bukit tu lama.
Sangkut.
So tengah nak memotong
Bukan nak memotong, nak clean je, tapi tekan minyak lebih sikit sebab tayar terkeluar dari track kan. So nak cuba masuk ambil tu terciduk kat situ. Lepas tu dia boleh main-main pula atas bukit tu. Tengok. Dia main atas bukit tu lama. So memang rugi masa kat situ. Dia nak lurus pun lama juga. Tengok. Dia tak nak turun. Dia turun.
Dia susah sikit nak dengar cakap lah. Ni masih liar lagi, belum jinak lagi ni.
Sebab dia rear wheel kan. So tekan gear 1 pun macam tu, gear 2 pun macam tu. RPM baru 1 lebih pun dia boleh spin.
Ya. Itulah dengan engine yang torque tinggi.
Macam bawa lori tapi high RPM.
So Paduka, pada perasaan Paduka boleh dapat masih boleh race lagi tak?
Macam boleh, dia ada improvement kalau nampak daripada sebelum-sebelum ni. So kita tengok dia dah mula happy bila mana semalam dia dapat habiskan race, hari ni pun dapat habiskan race. Maknanya dia dah mula serasi dengan saya dengar dia dah mula pasang balik setup yang lama. Dia pasang balik setup lama tu mungkin memberi feel lebih lagi.
Tak, sebab sebelum ni kan race macam bawa lori. So kali ni boleh duduk macam duduk dalam kereta race, cuma position monitor dia tak berapa betul lagi. Tapi tak apa, Cik bersabar sehingga minggu depan kita harapkan segala barang-barang tu sampai lah.
So siapa
Ada
yang
jajam baru
supplier untuk kau untuk
Okey, Cil apa Abang Azman dia supply apa Magic, lepas tu pedal HE, dan juga banyak lagi lah butt kicker, lepas tu semua lah dengan triple monitor. So kita
All
cuba
out
lah
ni
nanti.
je,
Tak adalah kira all out, cuma kalau boleh nak set up proper, jadi boleh betul-betul kita nak rasa dia punya feel tu. Sekarang ni memang tak
G29
rasa.
kau dah buat apa G29 tu?
G29 kita pulangkan balik kepada Bro Lantoda.
Oh ya, okey.
Bro Lantoda apa cakap, Cil nanti kau pulangkan yang ni, kau ambil yang tu.
Proper. Ya, bukan proper. Dia sebenarnya G29 pun kompetitif juga, tapi ada limit dia lah kan.
Dia mungkin perlu banyak lagi masa. Kan Paduka kan? Kalau
Ya,
nak
betul.
maintain dengan
Dari
G29 ni
segi
mungkin boleh,
force
cuma
feedback dia Paduka G29 dengan direct drive ni memang banyak beza ke?
Jurang dia kalau kata FFP lah kan, kita kata torque lah. Torque untuk, kalau saya tahu Magic ni dia boleh pergi sampai 30 ke 40, 30 lah, 30 paling tinggi. So untuk G29 paling tinggi pun biasanya 2.
so kita rasa gegar dekat steering tu, memang kita rasa force feedback tu, tetapi dia sangat minimum. Kita tak boleh nak betul-betul rasa, melainkan memang orang tu start dengan game. Kalau dia real racer, betul-betul racer, kalau dia nak start dengan main G29 boleh, tapi dia kena start macam orang main game dulu boleh. Dia kena kena betul train dia punya sensing dia tu, tangan, mata semua tu kena train balik macam gamers. So kalau macam racer, kita nak feel tu sebab kita rasa boleh kawal kalau kita dapat rasa feedback daripada tayar, daripada apa semua. Tu yang macam Cik dah rasa dekat rumah Abang Azman. Memang rasa lain. Bila kita tak throttle tu pun kita dapat rasa yang kita throttle, dan kita brake tu rasa. Macam mana nak cakap, kena try lah. Kalau siapa ada masa, try kawan-kawan yang mana apa yang atas sikit daripada level G29 ni, rasa. Tapi tak boleh benda ni boleh disangkal juga, sebab apa alien lain pun ada juga yang pakai G29. Macam Ipin, macam Melvinder Singh, diorang mesti lagi G29 tapi laju juga. Tapi itu yang itu pun, benda ni persepsi masing-masing, mungkin ada pro and con masing-masing. Kalau mungkin boleh serasa dengan G29, tapi ambil masa macam diorang lah. Diorang ni dah lama main kan, Paduka kan.
Paduka, just satu question. Apa dalam race ni, siapa yang kau rasa paling kau suka tengok style ataupun paling kemas yang kau perasan lah, yang kau observe hari ni?
So untuk perlombaan ni, yang paling orang kata nampak dia punya dari segi konsisten apa semua, Ilham Mahlabi.
Yelah, dia daripada
Ilham Mahlabi start dia tu, dia waktu starting tu kan dia terbabas kan. Tapi dia entry memang, yelah sebab dia ni memang satu orang yang paling lama sekali dalam iRacing. Kalau dekat Malaysia ni dia pioneer lah. Dia nombor satu
dia pun
sebenarnya.
antara paling tinggi kat Malaysia ni kan.
Yep, dekat Malaysia so far setakat ni tak ada orang lagi yang boleh beat dia setakat ini lah. Tapi disebabkan dia ni sebenarnya mula bermain dalam iRacing ni tahun 2008.
Oh, lama gila, dah 12 tahun.
Lama. Dah 12 tahun dah, daripada 2008 lagi. So memang setiap kali dia race, dia memang akan duduk dalam top 3 apa semua. So bila kita tengok tadi, memang tak dinafikan lah. Dia boleh, walaupun dia start 1, tapi dia turun sampai 16 ke 17 tadi, dia boleh still dapat potong satu persatu orang secara konsisten, tanpa perlu apa orang kata, tanpa perlu langgar ataupun apa. Memang kategori pro simulator driver lah.
Habis nombor 8 tu, dia belakang Melvin sikit je.
Ya, betul. So kalau kata ada extra lap lagi, Maybe dia boleh duduk dalam top 3 kalau ada extra lap yang boleh ni lah, sebab memang kita boleh nampak dia punya konsisten tu.
Dengan dia punya bakat pun tak boleh dinafikan jugalah.
Ya, betul.
Ramai orang pilih Holden tapi dia putih dengan Ford dia ya. So apa strategi di sebalik tu kalau ada lah Paduka? Mungkin Ford ni dia torque dia ataupun horsepower dia sama kan? Torque dia kurang sikit ke macam mana?
Dia kalau ikut pada yang pernah tanya pada Ilham ni, dia suka pakai kereta yang orang tak pakai. Pada dia, kereta yang susah tu adalah yang orang cakap susah nak kawal kereta ni, kereta tu senang pada dia.
Challenge.
Mungkin
challenge sebab
driving style pun apa yang kita panggil front positive macam kalau bandingkan
betul. Sebab
driver F1.
kalau ikut pada Ilham Alabi ni, dia sebenarnya cara pemanduan dia sangat smooth. Kalau tengok dia bawa rasa macam dia tengah santai je. Tengah macam dia tak ada pressure. Dia memang orang yang tak ada pressure.
So seperti Schumacher ataupun Kimi Räikkönen, kalau dia bawa kereta yang oversteer, so kereta yang oversteer dia boleh kawal dengan secara konsisten dan pakai line high risk pun dia boleh buat setiap lap sekali, dia boleh buat macam tu lah.
Maybe pun masa yang turn 1 tu dekatnya dia dah nak off track tu, dia tak nak ambil risiko crash kat orang, crash kat dia mungkin biar
betul.
Dia ambil
betul.
Safety aspect juga lah tu.
Betul. Kalau ikut memang itu cara yang sebetulnya lah. Dan Ilham ni pun dia memang daripada dulu lagi dia memang cara dia bermain memang macam tu.
Oh, tertidur kat situ.
Orang tu sini mana?
Oh, pingunya bonnet.
Itu tak boleh lari lah tu.
So, Paduka sebagai race steward hari ni, terima kasih banyak kepada Paduka. Hari tak ada yellow flag, tak ada FCY hari ni.
Ya, tak ada yellow flags.
Hari ni
Ya, nasib baik dia agak clean walaupun ada insiden, tapi dia insiden yang kita boleh diklasifikasikan sebagai localized incident. So antara dua kereta je dan dapat remove dengan cara cepat. So nampaknya clean race jugalah.
So ini adalah race yang terakhir untuk BX Supercar kan? Lepas kita start dengan
kita akan kembali lagi dalam series championship, insyaAllah. Tak tahu season berapa lagi. So untuk malam ni, okay Matt, do the promo Matt.
Okay, for next week on the 14th of June, we're going to have a very, very special start to a Adrenaline Impact iRacing Malaysia Championship. It's going to be a fantastic race in MX5 cars. We will keep you up to date on Adrenaline Impact, so do stay tuned to one of the biggest esports events happening right now on the 14th. See you there.
Okay, anything Michael sebelum kita go offline?
Macam nak ucapkan kepada semua yang menonton tadi, semua yang race, anda semua adalah supporter. Tak kisah anda share ke, anda tengok ke apa ke. Terima kasih kerana menyokong industri permotoran negara virtual maupun reality. Keep the positive thing and terima kasih kerana join, dan saya harapkan satu hari nanti anda semua akan bersama dengan kami. Jika ada rezeki boleh menjadi rakan penaja kami ataupun pelumba di dalam siri ini, siapa tahu. Jadi Cil pun nak mengucapkan terima kasih dan berundur diri setakat ni. Bye bye.
Okay, good night everybody. Good night Matt. Good night Michael.
All right, good evening. That was our director, Karol Alang. My name's Matthew Palmer. That is Michael Hafiz over there in the corner there. A special thank you to all our sponsors, Stream.my, Streamology, Pico Media, Sim Racing Enthusiast, C-Zone, Interformula and Todak Motorsports. And all that remains for me to say is good night from all of us and see you guys at the next one. Ta-ra.